From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell. Canada's finance minister was in Europe today looking to see if their markets are interested in pairing up with Ottawa to bolster energy security and defense capabilities. François-Philippe Champagne meeting with his European counterparts this weekend, insisting Canada's critical mineral and energy exports could help European economies become resilient. Champagne added that the need to strengthen defense and security ties was a major theme at this week's meeting and pointed to critical minerals, energy resources, and shipbuilding expertise as key assets Canada brings to the table. Mark Carney is set to attend the United Nations General Assembly for the first time since becoming Prime Minister in a visit Ottawa says is seeking to advance peace, security, and human rights. Senior government officials said Carney is scheduled to meet with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, other heads of state, and CEOs. Global leaders, including Carney, are navigating through some difficult diplomacy on Israel's actions in Gaza and the West Bank. It risks raising the ire of American President Donald Trump, who continues to remain steadfast in his support for the Middle East nation. Meanwhile, Jewish Canadian leaders are calling on political parties to stop exploiting anti-Semitism for political points.
B'nai B'rith's head of advocacy says it maddens him when politicians use Holocaust Remembrance Day as an opportunity, even when they're advancing positive actions for the Jewish people. Richard Robertson says it becomes a form of tokenization. He says a lot of Jews become uncomfortable when politicians try to link the events of the Second World War to their own policies or those of their opponents. He points to federal liberals touting government spending on safety measures for synagogues, or conservatives blaming the Liberal government for a surge in hate crimes. Jason White, The Canadian Press.
A long-awaited rail project in Quebec to bypass the town of Lac-Mégantic is one step closer to being built. Transport Minister Stephen McKinnon says an official application has been submitted to the Canadian Transport Agency, and the project will be ready to go once it receives the agency's approval. The much-publicized 2013 fiery derailment in Lac-Mégantic killed 47 people, destroyed much of the downtown core, and forced about 2,000 people to evacuate their homes. Some citizens opposed the new project due to concerns about the route, cost, and potential damage to wetlands and water supplies. And a cyber attack targeting check-in and boarding systems has disrupted air traffic and caused delays at several of Europe's major airports. The disruptions to electronic systems were initially reported at Brussels, Berlin's Brandenburg, and London's Heathrow airports, and meant that only manual check-in and boarding was possible. Traveler Teresa Poltarova says nobody seems to know when the issue will be fixed.
Workers here have no information. They're not very helpful. So it's been a very, we kind of felt really stranded.
While the impact on travelers appears to be limited, experts say the intrusion exposed vulnerabilities in security systems. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays get a second crack at clinching an American League playoff spot tonight in Kansas City. After the Tigers blew a late lead and lost to the Braves, the Jays now control their own fate, a win, and they're in. The Hamilton Tiger Cats will be looking for a third straight victory when they host the Edmonton Elks to close out Week 16 of the CFL schedule. The 8-5 Ticats lead the East Division by 2 points over the Montreal Alouettes, who picked up a 21-19 victory over the Argonauts in Toronto last night. The 5-8 Elks occupy the West Basement and have lost 2 of their last 3 contests. Canada will face England in the Women's Rugby World Cup final next weekend in London. The English top France 35-17 in today's second semi-final to book their ticket. Canada beat 2-time defending champions New Zealand 34-19 yesterday to book the country's first ever final. From the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.